In over 10 years of creating sales training videos, my most popular one with over 20,000 views on YouTube is turning jewelry service into sales. Now, I had a lot more hair back then and my wardrobe is kind of questionable, but with that many views, I can tell you one thing. We have a lot of people walking through our doors for service. Watch batteries, repairs, appraisals, engraving, you name it. And while we're grateful for that traffic, because sometimes repairs can save our month, we need to take full advantage of the opportunity we have when people walk through our doors. It's an opportunity. Now, if you want to know how we feel here at Trained Retail about watch batteries and other nonprofit time suckers, well, watch Kyle's video on the 5 things jewelers should ditch in 2025. I'll put a link in the notes here. But for the sake of this training today, it's important to realize that a person who walks through our door is above all things an opportunity. And I know all the owners out there want me to say an opportunity to make a sale. But that's not what I'm talking about here. It's an opportunity to create a relationship, to build familiarity, to build trust, to build value in our store. I'll give you a real-time example to illustrate. Last Saturday, I was at the store and a customer walked in for a basic on-the-spot inspection and cleaning, like we all do. Terry greeted the customer, and since there were no other customers in the store, she asked Linda if she could do the check and clean. The key here is that Linda was in the area. Her radar was up. She was there to help Terry with whatever she needed, a credit app, what have you. So the first rule here is fantastic floor awareness. Fantastic floor awareness all the time, especially if there aren't many customers in the store. There should always be an on-deck person to act as a helper to assist the person who is now approaching the customer or who has the up. If you're at your desk working on something and there are 2 customers working with 2 salespeople, get up and get in their radar. Get busy in that area. I don't care if you just go look out the window or clean the glass on the case. Make yourself available and get in their radar to those folks for turnovers or, like in this case, to do the service. So now while Linda was doing the inspection and cleaning, now just so you know, I'm talking about the free service we usually provide where we inspect under the microscope and then ultrasonic and steam. While she was doing that, Terry was starting a conversation. It happened to be, it wasn't a sales presentation. It just happened to be discussing school enrollment, if I recall directly, for that fall semester. Now, here was the magic move. While they were chatting, Terry opened up a case and pulled out a diamond fashion ring. They were chatting. They were still talking about what they were talking about. It just so happened to look like a ring that would perfectly go on the customer's right hand. How convenient. Now, she kept her focus on the customer, and the conversation was continuing to focus on the school year, as they were discussing, but Terry was pulling it out as though she were like on a mission for another customer, or maybe even herself. She didn't say a thing about the ring. She just wiped it off with a Velvet cloth, and she wrote down the tag info on a sheet of paper. That was kind of fun. Like she was looking for that ring on a mission. Well, wouldn't you know it, the customer asked to try it on. She loved it. Then she said something very fun. She said, "Do you have this with more diamonds?" A sale was made, okay, and it wasn't that ring, but another one for about $1,000 more. Now, I know this all sounds rosy and wonderful, but I watched it happen with my very eyes. And you're probably thinking, that would never happen in our store. Well, not with that attitude. Of course not. But you're absolutely right. But what if it happened 20% of the time? What if it happened 40% of the time? What would that do for your top line sales? What would that do for the excitement of your team? Okay? All you need to do is engage with people. Love them. Never leave them to roam the sales floor alone. while waiting for service. And make sure your team is a team. Make sure they're acting flawlessly and unselfishly to serve the customer and create relationships. Now, could this happen if they're standing at the counter while Linda writes up the repair? Yeah, we do it all the time. If the customer wants to chat, we chat it up with them. Linda, she has to stay with the scope. She has to stay with the details of writing up that repair. She's probably counting Melly and, noting any inclusions in the diamond, that type of thing. She's writing a thorough description, so she needs to stay focused. Our job is to chat it up and have a good time with that customer. She shouldn't be multitasking, and we can be a team and help her out with conversation. So others jump right in and start chatting and engaging. And, it wouldn't hurt to have some gorgeous pieces near the jewelry repair check-in area. Even if they're closeout pieces. I've seen all kinds of success in this area if there's eye-popping pieces right there. So you know what? Just reach in, grab one right then and there and slip it on. Remember, you're looking for another customer, or maybe even yourself. They don't know. It's so costly to get a person to walk through our doors. So let's take every opportunity to not be pushy, not be aggressive, and not awkward. But start conversations, engage, have great floor awareness, and be a team. Oh, and by the way, Terry and Linda split the sale, which was $3,500, and Linda found a very thin shank with 6 prongs that needed replacing. So that was a split repair as well. And it all came from a free service and a conversation.